Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we've got the Magician card. Mercury, the Hermes, the trickster, the juggler. This is a wonderful card. I feel like you're somebody who is, I feel like you've got a real magic about you right now. And I know it's your birthday season, so happy birthday to all the Geminis. But I feel like this is really a special time in your life. You're somebody with a lot of skill and a lot of talent. And I'm not just being nice because it's your birthday. But I feel like you've done a lot of work over your life to really become who you're meant to be. I feel like you have a very strong sense of your own destiny. And I feel like you've gone through the very practical steps, I guess, to actualize that. You've done the work. You know, it's not enough to have a natural talent for music or for sports or something. You got to go and practice. You got to train. You got to learn. You know, you got to absorb the information. You've got to somehow translate it into practical wisdom, and you have to practice, practice, practice. And I think you're somebody that really knows the value of that. And I feel like that's a very concentrated point for you right now. It's almost economical. Right? And of course, the Magician is kind of the card of the economy and commerce and transactions and things. You're trying to get the most bang for your buck right now. So what I mean is that you're applying yourself to those tasks, projects, endeavors, those books and those trainings and things like this. You're applying yourself to those activities that are going to accelerate the growth and expansion of who you are. I feel like your mind is just expanding like crazy, right? And I feel like this is a lot of magic in your life. I feel like this is really a self-directed energy that you're talking to yourself. You're saying, self, we're going to apply our energies to this and this and this, whatever your work is, whatever your inner life is, whatever you're trying to create, right? Whether it's studying up on certain subjects, whether it's practicing a certain art or a craft, whether this is processing some emotional work. I feel like you're doing all that stuff. You're working with all the elements. See, the Magician takes what it finds in the environment, takes the life that it's born into, takes the body and soul that it has right now. Whoever I am right now is the material that I have to work with. And I think you're taking responsibility for that, and you're somebody who really can accept that. And it doesn't matter. You start now, you started, 30, 40 years ago, whatever. You took yourself as you found it. This is me, and this is what I have to work with, and you just start working. You're able to see where you need to a little bit more develop, where you have some weaknesses, you want to turn them into strengths. You have some strengths that maybe need to be tempered back a little bit, or some energy needs to be redirected, whatever it is. Very good. Very good card. And it could be that because it's your birthday season, this is giving you a little bit more of a prompt to kind of think of these things. Let's see what the next card is. Oh, Six of Cups. We're looking for that harmonious life. We're not trying to build up our life in one particular direction too much. We want a circle. We don't want an egg-shaped soul, We want a nice, perfect sphere. Perfect circle. Shout out to Maynard Keenan, or as I call him, James. We want to develop in kind of equal proportion. We don't want any one part of ourselves that's too strong to the detriment of others. You want a life, you want a personal, professional life, spiritual life, creative life. You want it to be well-rounded and well-balanced. Okay? You want that intimate connection in life. You want to feel that we're in harmony. This is the card that says, I've never been happier. And I think that really this card is saying to you, happy birthday. Okay? This is kind of like, and maybe this, I don't know, would you consider this birthday to be your absolute best birthday? Maybe it's already passed. I know there's only a couple days left in Gemini season. Depending on when you're watching this, obviously. But did you have the best birthday that you could have had? I feel like we're looking for this kind of harmony. We want to always be reaching these peak experiences. We want to make every day or every year kind of better than the last. I think financially, but I think as well as spiritually, emotionally, interpersonally, creatively, we want to make this progress. And maybe it's been that you've been really focused on career or finances, and you've had year after year increasing success. Maybe it says now, well, now I kind of want to apply that same energy, but got to build up my interpersonal life, my private life, my friendships, or my romantic life, or I want to kind of bring in a little bit more creative energy, or these hobbies, bring up some of this other energy, and start building those areas of your life up, all in the quest for this holistic, happy kind of perfect happiness, best day ever kind of thing. Okay. So let's see. Maybe we can make some predictions here. Maybe we can talk about what's coming down the line for you, or what this development of this energy is for you, and what the Six of Cups might look like. We've got a Nine of Swords down at the bottom. You didn't have a necessarily easy life. I feel like you're somebody who, and Gemini, this is Mars in Gemini, okay, the Nine of Swords. So you're a person that is very very direct, very blunt. I feel like part of your work, part of your destiny is to use this in some way, right? It's not a weakness, right? It's turned into a strength. Let it be something now that is working for you rather than against you. Rather than this being an anchor that's slowing us down, let this be just another sail on your ship, right? So this, I think, was maybe a difficult experience in life, maybe a kind of a tough history for you, right? But we're learning how to use this. And so between this and the Magician, I feel like you're using all of your past experiences to do some good in the world. Yeah. I predict that that's kind of going to be a direction your life takes, where everything that you've endured, everything that you've learned the hard way, let's say, over the course of your life, is in some way you're a spokesperson for that. You're a mouthpiece for that. I feel as if this is something that you can really help other people by sharing your story, by sharing your experiences, because this, I think, it's a wealth of experience. Not all very good experiences, but you have a way of communicating about you. And I think part of your inner work is learning how to communicate the really tough stuff. Learning how to talk about the difficult things to talk about. Learning how to say things for which there's no easy way to say it, And so I think that you have a very unique way of expressing yourself. And you're developing that voice. Yeah. Let's keep going. I like that. I like the unique voice. Because you're not letting all this Nine of Swords, you're not letting this past of yours turn you into something that you don't want to be. Again, you're taking control of it. You're saying, well, this is who I am right now. This is the history that I have that's all kind of built into who I am right now. This is the material that I have to work with. So I'm going to work with it in the best way possible to create the best kind of life that I can with it. We can't forget about these swords. We can't, ignore them. We've got to use them. Next card, past position, Nine of Cups. Ooh, very nice. This is the pursuit of happiness. This is following your bliss. This is fulfillment on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. Okay? So I kind of predict that, or I'm assuming about your life anyway, that you had extremes. You had the extremes of happiness and pleasure and success, and you've had the opposite extreme. Yeah, that you've lived on kind of both sides of the tracks, so to speak. Yeah, I think you've had a very rich life. Like I said, I think you've had a lot of experiences of all kinds. So you have a very unique way, I think, of relating to everybody. You've got a way of talking to people that they'll just feel you. You know, they really they feel like you're one of them. You know, and that's part of the adaptability, part of the eloquence even of the magician. You can land in any group of people and you can fit right in, and you can just be in harmony. Those can be your people, right? So I feel like you are part of this this destiny for you. Well, it could even be that you're traveling to other countries, you're doing some kind of field work. I feel like you're someone that's going to travel a lot. And I feel like you're going to immerse yourself in a lot of different cultures. And there's going to be a way, and just different groups of people, different societies, and different groups of people, right, of all kinds. And you have a special way of kind of blending in and being accepted by everybody, right? And I think it's because you've had such a rich history. I think your childhood was very involved, very different. You know, I feel like you grew up with parents that maybe were also themselves kind of extremely different, maybe, but maybe with their approach to you was quite different. But I feel like they were very involved, you know, parents for you. And I feel like you went a lot of places when you were a kid, and you met a lot of people, and you did a lot of different things. You know, maybe by the time you were 10 years old, you've already traveled the world. You've already learned languages. You've already been exposed to all sorts of things. And so there's this naturalness in you now. It's natural for you to be in an odd place and just fitting right in, just feeling like you're home, putting your feet up, you know. And I feel like it's kind of part of your destiny now to continue that on and travel the world. And maybe you're bringing something to the world. I don't know if maybe you're on tour. Maybe it's a book and you're kind of touring with the book. But you're bringing something to other people, I think, to share your knowledge and experience with them. Okay? Let's keep going. Ace of Wands. You're definitely doing something different. You have a very unique perspective about things, and I think that I don't think you're continuing the work of your parents. That's not what I mean. I feel like you're taking all of that experience you had throughout your life, from 0 to however old you are now. Happy birthday! You're taking all that experience, and in some way, it is adding up to more than the sum of its parts. You're taking all that material and you're creating something unique and individual from it. So you're finding a way, or you will be finding a way, to express yourself in a way that really hasn't been done before. You're finding a very unique voice. This is part of that unique voice of the magician and the wand of the magician. And I feel like it is directly inspired by spirit. I feel like you have a very intense spiritual life. I don't think you adhere to any particular faith or doctrine. I feel like you're a very spiritual person in your own way, and I feel like you're kind of leading the way in that sense too. That you're kind of creating your own relationship with the divine. I almost feel like you're kind of a prophet in a way. Not just because it's your birthday. I'm not just being nice. I feel like you have a direct line to spirit, and you're very inspired in that way. Right? And so I feel like you're bringing something unique, a unique voice to the world, and it's kind of just fresh gnosis. I mean, maybe Maybe you're even going to start a religion or a spiritual tradition or something, you know. But I feel like you're bringing something to the world, and I see you traveling a lot doing that. So let's do one more card for the Path of the Dove. Two of Pentacles. Something that you do in your life is going to change the world. Maybe in a really, really big way. We'll have to wait till we get to the Path of the Serpent. Maybe in a small way, but it is changing the world, okay? And I think it's your unique voice that is bringing something to the world that the world has never seen before, looking at something in a new way, innovating, maybe inventing a product, inventing a machine or a technology or something. But I feel as if it is more, I feel like it's almost even geared more towards like psychology, not psychology really, but some kind of healing, you know, a spiritual healing. Maybe it's even something absolutely unique that I don't know what it is because you haven't invented it yet. But I feel like you're bringing something that is going to help people maybe change their lives or to help change the world. Okay? I feel that's part of your destiny. Let's keep going. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here. We're going to put Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top of that card today. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation we need. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. And now we're going to talk about the Path of the Serpent. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription also. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost anything. And it helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate that. So, general energy, Path of the Serpent. Well, that should be one of your power cards, but it is not because this is a fixed air card. But this is double air. This is air on air. It's the Prince of Swords, right? So this is kind of it's kind of a Gemini card, right? Just because it's that kind of the twin air kind of aspect. But it's your general energy. So I feel like right now you might not really know what I'm talking about. You might not have an idea of what this could possibly be. But there's going to come a time in your life where the road is going to split into two different paths for you. And I feel like you're going to have to make a choice about which path to go down. And it might be a path of like kind of tradition or, you know, conforming, going with the grain, kind of, you know, just following in the kind of normal flow of the mainstream kind of thing, or going a way that really is going to put you at odds with people, with the world, right? In the sense that you're choosing to stand out, okay? And even with all the stuff I said on the Path of the Dove, doesn't mean everybody's going to like you, okay? So we have to be ready for that. I think the Prince of Swords is also a card that will come to a very clear perception of who they are and will not lose that, okay? I think you have a very strong sense of self. When you were a kid, I think you maybe... you observed a lot, you listened a lot. And I think that you kind of even, well, you probably did what kids do when they kind of, they mimic other people a little bit, you know, especially when they're young and they're just kind of learning like what it means to do things. Like my daughter's going through this thing now where she'll watch other people laugh and then she'll start laughing too. And she'll just kind of, and you can tell that it's put on, like she's practicing. It's so cute. But I feel like you did that when you were a kid, like it, and maybe even nowadays it kind of still exists a little bit in an altered kind of form of just observing people and learning about people through just the way they just the way they are, right? The way people naturally behave and mannerisms and the way people laugh, the way people talk. The way people move their hands when they're doing tarot readings. And it kind of just, it's giving you this unconscious almost insight into human nature. Okay? But I think it started when you were a kid, and I think even maybe maybe you were not so much like the leader of your friend group, because I kind of feel as if you were sticking close to people who were the leader, right? Who were the ones that were the loudest and kind of said, "Hey, friends, let's go over here and play." You know, they were kind of directing the rest of the group. And I feel like you were right next to that leader person as a kid. And I think that you were absorbing like kind of what that energy was like, you know? And it was really sinking into your unconscious. And I think now, I think you are emerging as a leader. And I think it's because you really, like, when you were young and throughout your life, I think you really absorbed a lot of that energy. You kind of know, intuitively now how it works, how to do it, okay? And I think that's Prince of Swords for me. Next card, in the environment, well, yeah, there we go. Perfect. That is the commitment to that one direction, right? Not the band, but maybe the band. This is when you do get that split in the road, when the road, forks or whatever, you're able to commit to a particular path and stick to it. You have that fixed air energy. This is also the realization of your maybe core identity, a recognition of your core beliefs. And to me, this is a really fundamental gnosis, a fundamental knowledge of yourself and who you are and what you believe. And it's kind of like this is the message that you're bringing to the world. That you're finding your unique voice, you're finding kind of what you believe in. Like a lot of people have a voice or have a unique voice or even have a platform to offer their wisdom to the world, but they don't know what to say. They don't know what they want to talk about, right? And as a YouTuber, I get a lot of people asking me like, I want to start a channel, what should I do? Get a lot of that. And I try to help everybody that I can. And my first answer is, I have no idea, right? I got lucky. But I feel like a lot of people have a voice, they have a uniqueness about them, they know the technical stuff, but they just don't know what to talk about. Like they have the camera and the lights and the microphones, but then they get in the chair and they don't know what they want to talk about. What is your channel going to be? Is it going to be tarot? I mean, maybe you don't know anything about tarot. You never picked up a tarot deck. You're going to talk about animals. You're going to talk about, home improvements, DIY stuff. Well, you've never picked up a hammer, so why would you do that? Some people try to just take a look at what's popular right now. Well, I'll go do that. Okay, but you don't know anything about that. You can't cram a whole lifetime of experience into just a couple weeks and then you start your channel and think that, it's going to work. And that's why with you, Gemini, right now I feel like your whole life has been this process of learning and doing and experiences that has given you a wealth of knowledge and experience that you can then give to the world through your chosen medium. And I think the Ace of Swords is you doing that. In the environment, right? This is the card of the environment. You're able to take your wealth of experience of life, and that's how you know what direction to go. Like for me, I've been studying esoteric subjects. I've been, learning and practicing tarot for, well, not to reveal my age, but 20-something years, since I was a teenager, essentially. I've been into these kinds of subjects. Okay, so when it came time for me to kind of say, hey, I want to start a channel, it was very, very obvious what I am kind of naturally now, innately almost, going to be sort of okay at. My journey didn't really begin that way. I started out just with my tarot cards, and then I said, well, just one day I had the idea, I'm going to go on Reddit and see if I could, read the cards for someone on Reddit, And so then people on Reddit would, ask a question, and I would read the cards, and I would type out my kind of interpretation, and it had really a good response. And then I don't know who mentioned it. "Ah, do you have a YouTube channel?" And I thought, actually, I don't. Maybe I should. And then anyway, my story is a different story. But I feel like this is you. I feel like you've had this kind of life. And if you could find the thread of that life, what is it all leading you to? Okay? And it doesn't mean, well, you've been in the kitchen your whole life. You've always been around food. You've always been around cooking. And so you start a cooking channel. Maybe, yeah. But maybe you start a science channel that is kind of cooking themed, or I don't know. Whatever it might be. I feel like your life has led you to this particular point. Okay? And I feel like this is you finding that voice and not only finding that voice, but finding what that voice is going to say. And it's because you've had this very rich and very multifaceted upbringing that I think you have a unique voice and people want to hear what you say. And I think it's going to work out very well. I don't know what the platform is going to be. Let's see maybe what the obstacle is. Well, yeah, that's the obstacle, not having a platform, right? This is, we don't want to take a step onto this platform because I don't know what's there. I don't know if this is a swamp. I don't know if this is some tree trunks. I don't know if this is safe to step on it. I don't know what this is, okay? It's the Seven of Pentacles, I know that much, but I don't know what the platform is for you. What is the medium of you giving this to the world? Expressing, your unique voice and your unique perspective on things. And I think that obviously this is the obstacle that needs to be worked on. And this is the hope that we'll find the right vehicle, the right medium through which to give this to the world. I do feel you traveling around a lot. I feel like you're reaching, well, maybe it's YouTube, because YouTube reaches the whole world, I'm assuming, everywhere. But this could be, something like music or a book or a technology or a business of some kind, an art or a craft that either you're going to be traveling around the world to provide that for people or to give lectures or talks or speeches or something. Or you're going to be kind of, shipping your product out to the four corners of the world, right? But right now, I feel like you don't know exactly what that platform is, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll happen organically. Somehow Spirit will lead you there. As I feel Spirit led me to YouTube. I never thought of doing a YouTube channel. I was just doing tarot readings, on Reddit for strangers, typing it out. And then somehow I stumbled over and said, well, YouTube, perfect. Why didn't I think of that, And so it happens organically. We can't force it. But this platform, I feel like, will reveal itself to you. Let's see what the next card is. Maybe will it be some stable earth energy? Let's see. No, it's the moon card, which is okay. Because the moon card says that, there's no guaranteed future here. So I'm making these predictions. I'm telling you about your destiny, but there's no guarantee. So in 5 years, you might come back and say, Paul, you were wrong. And hopefully I'm still here in 5 more years. I plan to be. But, that may very well be the case, because the moon card is that dark doorway, that mysterious future that we're all trying to figure out. But we never can. We never will. The only way to know is to go, right? And that's why there's that sun at the bottom of that card. It says it's going to remain a mystery until you go there and bring your unique lamp into it. Bring your unique perspective into it. Yeah. And so the only way to know is to go. You are the lamp. You are the sun. You are that torch that is going to light the way as you go. And so this card really could be confirming that too, that you're doing something that is innovative, doing something that no one's ever done before. You're kind of leading the way somewhere. You're the one at the front of the front of the pack, holding the torch, walking into that dark forest, that unknown future, but you're bringing the light. You're shedding a light on things. Maybe it's some kind of, some sort of illumination about something, right? If you're maybe something, to do with physics or the nature of reality or philosophy or something like that, but you're bringing this perspective that no one else has kind of thought of before. And so I feel like this is a good card to have. This is the promise that if you step bold, if you find the right platform and you step boldly into that future, being the shining light that you are, you're going to change the world. That Two of Pentacles, you're going to change the world, maybe as a whole, maybe in some particular area. That's kind of yet to be determined what that medium is, right? Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe this will give us an idea of the medium, or of maybe the subject matter, I guess we could say. The vehicle through which you change the world, right? Is it art, music, dance? Is it physics? Is it philosophy? Is it business? Is it art and crafts? Is it, construction or technology? Spirituality, spiritual healing? If you have a prediction for this mystery card, I want you to put it in the comments down below. Not what you think it is. Put down what you hope it is. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to look at it. Here we go. 6 of Swords. The 6 of Swords. Now, I'm going to say something about it now, but I didn't before. The 6 of Swords is a card called science. So to me, it is it's a few different things. First of all, I think it is something related to the way people see reality. It's something you're going to make a difference in the world pertaining to how we understand the world. You're going to change the way people look at the world, right? If you think of science as kind of trying to explain the natural world, you're going to make some significant progress there. You have a unique perspective or a unique voice, or you're going to make some sort of discovery that is going to change, I believe, the way people understand the world around them. This is also a card of traveling. It's a journey by water. To me, it's kind of like someone who's touring the world in a sailboat, just kind of making stops everywhere. And that doesn't have to be a sailboat. Maybe you're going to take a plane. Maybe you're going to walk. I don't know. But this is long-term travel. Okay, I think this is in your future. I think you're going to be traveling the world. Okay. This card is also, to me, talking about the reception of your information, because it's a 6 of Swords. We have that 6 of Cups, right? It's kind of that's the experience we want. 6 of Swords, 6 of Cups. Both 6s, heart and mind, harmony. Okay, you're expressing these very difficult things, very maybe technical things, difficult to understand or difficult to hear, difficult to accept. But you're talking about these really hard topics in a way that makes people feel good, makes you feel good, right? So this is the proper way, this is the proper expression. You're able to say these harsh things in a way that people are really vibing with, really resonates with them. You could give somebody the worst news ever, but you do it in such a way that they're going to thank you for it and give you a hug. You know what I mean? And so we have the heart and mind aspect here. It's something that's going to be very satisfying and very rewarding to you emotionally, but I think also, physically and intellectually. But this is also the card of you finding the right way of expressing yourself. So I feel like there is a platform here. Okay, I feel like this is kind of the discovery of the platform, because we think of a 6 of Swords. It's a 3 plus a 3. It's a linkage. It's a connection. It's you and them, and there's a sound and there's an ear to hear it. Okay, so I feel like that's you finding the right medium, because it's the air, right? It's the medium of communication, of sound. I feel like this is really, really good. Very nice. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link in the corner. There's one down below. New readings for Gemini, Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from at this time. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. and we're all in this together.